Hello and welcome back to the Quick Slant on Green Bay Packer Nation and greenbaypackernation.com. It is the eve of the 2018 NFL Draft and we are super excited. We're going to take a moment to look at the mock drafts that are out there one last time before tomorrow's draft. And we're going to see who the analysts are picking for the Packers in round one. So stick around. Before we get started, let me just remind you, if you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, we'd love to have you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell notification so you get notified every time we post a new video. So let's get down to the final mock draft of the 2018 season. And the consensus across the board from all the mock draft analysts is that the Packers are going to take either a defensive back or a linebacker in this first round of the draft. The vast majority of the mock draft analysts have selected Marcus Davenport as going to the Packers at the 14th slot. He's an outside linebacker out of Texas San Antonio. Is a pretty impressive edge rusher. So I'd be pleased as punch to get a hold of him. However, the strange thing about that is that these same analysts say that both Arden Key and Harold Landry will still be on the board, as well as Marcus Davenport, and yet the Packers will go with Davenport as opposed to Landry or Arden Key. The thing that shocks me a little bit about that is that Pro Football Focus has Landry as the top grading outside linebacker, the top grading edge rusher. So it's curious to me that these analysts think that the Packers would go Marcus Davenport over a Harold Landry, for instance. If it happens that both of them are still available when the Packers are picking, it's going to be interesting to see who Gutekunst goes after. So that's kind of interesting. Peter Schrager of NFL.com actually has a different edge rusher in Tremaine Edmonds going to the Packers, and those are the guys that really have linebacker picked for the Packers. Then in defensive backs, generally speaking, the mock drafters say that probably Minkah Fitzpatrick will fall to the Packers, and they will select Minkah Fitzpatrick to fill out their depleted defensive backfield, which, again, I would be pretty excited about. One analyst had Josh Jackson as the Packers pick at 14. I have mentioned how much I really like Josh Jackson. I know a lot of you have mentioned the speed issue, that he lacks in speed, and I totally get that, and you might be absolutely right. He may be a complete bust because he just can't keep up. But the reason I'm not as concerned, or one of the reasons I'm not as concerned about the speed with Josh Jackson, is that I think he's tagged as a cornerback, but I think he could transition into a safety position, and he's got great instinct and a nose for the ball. Really, Josh Jackson graded above average in every category except run stopping, and his turnover ability has been impressive, and granted, he hasn't got a lot of experience, hasn't got a lot of snaps, but in the film that we've seen of him, I like Josh Jackson a lot. Of course, if the analysts are right and we pick Minkah Fitzpatrick, that he would be a solid player. He would be able to fill in, work himself into a starting role. I think he's got what it takes to be a pro football player, and more than that, I think Fitzpatrick is very pro ready. Relatively pro ready, as I think as ready as any college cornerback can be to play in the NFL. So any of these would be great picks. It will be interesting to see if the analysts are right and we go defense, I think Packer Nation will be extremely happy about that, because our defense is where we're lacking, and because we can get some pretty capable wide receivers deeper in the draft, and I think we're fine there. So that's what the analysts are saying about the Packers pick at the 14th slot. And so we're going to have some draft time stuff for you tomorrow. Definitely tune in for that. And until next time, go Pack.